Hello everybody and welcome to Indigo Sky Holistic. I'm Davina Ketson and I am here today to share some EFT with you. I am an energy healer, an intuitive, holistic therapist, mentor and many other things, including a mum of 3 and, for the purpose of this video, an ex-Jehovah's Witness. I was brought up from birth to around the age of 28, maybe. I'm not quite sure when it was that I faded. I kind of just left. But from birth to the late 20s, I was a Jehovah's Witness. You can read more about listen to more about my story on various videos on my YouTube channel. And if you're here because this video popped up in your recommendeds, or because you are searching for something like this on YouTube, then welcome to some EFT tapping for ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. I have a whole playlist which you can access on my YouTube channel. This one it's been a long time in the making because my life took a rather crazy turn when I was planning on making this, and there's been a lot going on for me in my life outside of holistic therapies and energy healing, and I've just finally got the space back energetically and emotionally to start making these videos. So this video is long awaited by some of you, promised to be some EFT for helping to release the fear of Armageddon. So you can watch the video where I discussed fear of Armageddon. I'll put it in a card somewhere, wherever it pops up here, to just discuss like how we end up with this fear of Armageddon. For anyone who's not a Jehovah's Witness who's watching this, how we end up with this fear of Armageddon, and just doing a little bit of research in some ex-Jehovah's Witness groups to see what sort of feelings people have around this idea of Armageddon. It just came to me that there are other religions who have similar fears, like the Catholics and other religious Christian denominations around the fear of hell and hellfire, and how that was like instilled in them. I know my mum was brought up as a Catholic. She was raised Catholic before she converted to Jehovah's Witness, and hellfire was something that scared her while she was a Catholic. So it's like, it is part of that religious indoctrination. So I'm not going to talk about much more of that. There's quite a lengthy video on that already. We are here today for the EFT. So if you don't know what EFT is, you can find that on my channel too, where I discuss it. But it's quite simply, it's a way of processing emotion using the meridian channels of the body as understood through Chinese medicine and other Eastern philosophies around the fact that our bodies have this energy that flows through them, that's literally animating them, and that our emotions can impact how this energy flows. And we store a lot of emotion around fears and traumas, around worries and anxieties in our everyday life, day to day. That's the case. When you throw in something that can be as terrifying as God destroying you, then it can add a whole new level to how that emotion builds up. So we're here today to do some EFT to release that fear. So initially, what I will ask you to do is pause this video and ask yourself a couple of questions. That is, how do you feel about Armageddon? Or when there's world events like a new war erupts, or there's crazy political situations going on, and you remember the things that you were taught from allegedly Bible prophecy, how does that make you feel? How does that feel on a scale of 1 to 10, where you feel literally terrified of being struck down by lightning? That would be a 10. And 1 is, you either totally don't believe it or you're not bothered. If it was to happen, it's not something that holds any emotional power and control over you. So just pause the video and have a think about that, and also have a think about the emotions that you're feeling. Anxiety, fear, guilt maybe for having left, things like resentment come up for a lot of people around having been told this and having this instilled in them and taking a hold of the subconscious mind and the body. So have a think of those emotions. You're going to name those emotions, and you can name those emotions where I name an emotion. If it's not relevant to you, then you name your emotions. EFT works best when we are specific about our own thoughts and feelings. And you're going to tap along with me, repeat what I say. That will work absolutely perfectly because you'll still be tapping on your own body and moving your own energy. And we have this thing called borrowing benefits in EFT, where you borrow the benefits of the collective that's being tapped into to shift your own energy. So that being said, if you need to, pause the video to tune into your body and feel that what that hold is for you, and then you can tap along with me. Try and keep these videos quite short, just because sometimes when they go on a little bit, it gets a little bit too much and a little bit too intense. And if anything really specific comes up for you, or you feel really like a lot of dense emotion coming up that you're struggling with, then there is a link in the description where you can book a free chat with me, and we can just chat and talk your way through that. Obviously, you can also book one-to-one EFT sessions with me, or other energy healing, intuitive healing consultations with me. But first and foremost, these videos are free content because this is another aspect of the ex-Jehovah's Witness community that seems to impact many of us around having the energy, the means, the worthiness of the like financial means to put that energy into, as in pay for this kind of support. So having been there and experience that side of things, I want there to be lots of free content for the ex-Jehovah's Witness community, because it is needed. It is very, very much needed. So therefore you can book a free chat with me, where we can talk about your specific situation, and I can make more free content that will be supportive of the ex-Jehovah's Witness community. Also, while you're here, if you want to have more free content like this, it really helps me with the YouTube algorithms. If you want to subscribe to the to my channel, because the more subscribers, the easier it is for me to begin to receive income from YouTube, so that I can then make more free content, because ultimately we all do have to live, and we all have to currently receive some sort of financial compensation for that. So therefore, if you want free content, then it does help if you like and subscribe and get that algorithm up for good old YouTube. So that all being said, what is your number? What are your emotions? Where I mention those, if I mention those, use your own, and let's see how we can shift that emotional energy around the fear of Armageddon, or the fear of being destroyed at Armageddon. So EFT tapping points you can find on the EFT tapping point video on my channel. I'm not going to go through them, but we start on the side of the hand, and we do 3 tapping statements here, tapping on the side of the hand, and then we tap around the meridian points of the body. Let's see how this goes and where it takes us. So even though I am no longer associated with Jehovah's Witnesses, I still have this anxiety and fear of being destroyed when God brings about Armageddon. The world is a crazy place. There are crazy things going on, and this subconscious belief is part of my energy field. And so it still plays a role in how I react when I see the news. But I choose now to accept who I am, and to love myself anyway. Even though I have this fear of being destroyed at Armageddon, or this fear of Armageddon coming as I was taught and told when I was a Jehovah's Witness. I'm scared that it will come and somehow I will be destroyed, or everybody and everything around me will be destroyed. I'm afraid of Armageddon, and the stories sometimes put out in the news add to that fear, and the subconscious beliefs, which I think I've got rid of, sometimes pop up and play a part in impacting how I feel. But I choose now to know that I'm safe right here in my body, and I accept and love myself. Even though I was taught that God would destroy the earth, the world, and all the people who weren't Jehovah's Witnesses, I know that this is not true, and I know that I have learned differently since I left. But that subconscious belief was very, very much programmed into me, and I need to keep to you to release and let it go so that I can live in peace now as the non-Jehovah's Witness that I am. I choose to accept my new beliefs and feelings, and I choose to accept and love who I am. Being brought up or being taught or being a Jehovah's Witness. Being a Jehovah's Witness, I was taught to fear Armageddon. I was taught that Armageddon would come. I was taught Armageddon would come and kill everybody, not a Jehovah's Witness. I was taught that I would die if I left the Jehovah's Witnesses when Armageddon came to the planet. That God would destroy me for not being a Jehovah's Witness. I was taught these things, and even if I didn't believe them or don't believe them now, these teachings taught me in an almost hypnotic way a part of my subconscious beliefs. And so when I see things in the news, or when things are taught me and told me about experiences in the past, I feel like these memories resurface. And this fear of Armageddon is still holding some part of my subconscious mind. And I don't like how that makes me feel. It brings up some fear. It brings up some worry. It brings up sadness for the people who still believe that. And it brings up resentment for the lies I was told. And a little bit of resentment to myself. That some part of me still has this imprinted in it. And some part of me is afraid of Armageddon. Some part of me might be afraid of dying at Armageddon. Some part of me might not care. But the fear of Armageddon was part of the teachings I was indoctrinated with. And it holds on to me in my subconscious mind. And that is where I need to clear it from now. Because while my conscious mind and my logic mind know that that's not true, I need to let it go from my subconscious mind. Because whatever it is that is called God, whether it is just the energy flowing through me, whether it is creative source bang energy, like the Big Bang, whatever it is that created me is a creative force of energy. Yes, it destroys things too. Yes, death is a part of life. But if that is God, or if that is a creative bang, It's not just destroying individuals of any one religion, or it's not saving individuals of any one religion. It's not being that dictatorial. That creative force, that Big Bang energy, that God energy, does not choose who it destroys or who it creates. There is a bigger force at work. And that is the force that is running through me. It's the force that keeps me alive now. It is the breath in my lungs. It is the electromagnetic field in my body. And I am not going to be destroyed in a cataclysmic end of the world. I am not going to be destroyed in a cataclysmic end of the world. At least not for billions of years. So I release this fear. I choose to release this fear. It is safe for me to release this fear. I can release this fear. I can deprogram my subconscious mind. I don't need to fear Armageddon. I don't need to fear God. Because whether God is real or not, it's a creative energy. And yes, destruction and death happen. But that process creates more life. And it doesn't choose based on religion. It doesn't choose based on creed or colour. So I release this indoctrination. I release this belief. It's okay for me to think differently. It's okay for me to think differently. And I can come back here again and again when there's a news story on, when there's a new elder's letter, when there's a new JW broadcast, when my former associates from the religion try to reach out and tell me maybe I'll be saved, I can come here and tap again. I know each time I do, I'm helping to decondition and let go and create new beliefs for myself and reprogram my subconscious mind. Take a breath in and let it out. Breathe in again and release. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel from that. If you still feel really, really anxious, please repeat the video. You can do it over and over again until that number is dropping. Again, if anything really significant has come up, please do book in for a free chat and let's have a chat and see if we can help you with some other tools to reprogram that belief, release it and let it go. Meanwhile, you are safe, you are loved, and you are free. I'll see you again sometime.